So my name is Jennifer Weeks, and I am the county librarian at the Santa Clara County Library District. But I've really, at heart, I'm a children's librarian. I became a children's librarian about 20 years ago. Spent 12 years working public service, front desk, working with families and children to really instill the love of reading. And as I moved along in our organization, I became the manager of the Children's Services Department. And we had a goal as a district that every single child in our district have a library card. So that was the challenge kind of placed in front of me. And I embraced it because I know that reading is so very, very powerful, and that we had these opportunities as a district to make a difference in so many children's lives. So right now I'm in the county librarian, but I know we're here to talk a little bit about all these great impacts that we've had for families in our district over the last couple of years. Obviously, throughout the country, there's always been this opportunity to provide library service for everyone. And I had heard about other things nationally as well as locally about getting everyone a library card, and especially for children. And here at the district, we've done library card drives, going out to classes, going out to table at different outreach events. And then looking around the country, what other projects were being done. Nashville did a great job. San Francisco did a good job of saying, all right, school districts, what can we do? How do we come together as partners to make sure that every child has a card? And of course, back in 2015, President Obama said everybody should have a library card, right, with the Connect Ed Challenge. So in September 2017, we had an opportunity to work with our Saratoga Union School District. It was a great district to start with for us because we wanted to partner with them to make sure that every one of their students had library access for free, make it a really simple process. They had about 2,000 students in this K-8 district. So using kind of this partnership, because I think that's what was so critical for us in building these relationships with our school districts, because it's a trust, right? And we want to contribute to kind of this overall successful environment. So using student IDs, we were able to create a student e-account for every single student in that district. So it was a format with their student ID, the PIN number had a certain format. We worked through MOUs, we worked through privacy, we worked through sharing data. We used all the different tools that we had, both together as a district, as a school district, as a library district, to really make sure that we had all the really important things in place for them. So we created these e-accounts, and then we also had the opportunity to be talking to families, to talk to teachers, and everybody was getting the same information so that they had everything they needed to help the youth in their lives, whether they're teaching them or their parents, be most successful with them. So we were able to work really successfully that way in groups and individually. Teachers could talk to their students about how to access library resources. And there weren't any, everybody was an advocate for it. So I thought that was really important, that we were in a trusted relationship with the school district, with our families, with our students, and everyone knew kind of the next steps on it. So over the next 2 years, we have built and expanded that program to all 13 of our school districts, which have been over 100,000 student e-accounts. And again, based on those formats and making sure everyone has this information so they can be successful. For the portal, so honestly, we started it out and we created all of these accounts and we kind of shouted out about it. And then we wanted to really have our individual librarians talking to teachers, have our library managers talking to communities and families. And I had the opportunity to work with a lot of school librarians. So in many of our cities, we still have that wonderful privilege of school libraries and school librarians. And one day I got a call from one of our school librarians and she said, Jennifer, thank you so much for, you guys have done a great job of setting up these accounts. I'm taking all of our students through using the student account. And I said, oh, great, how did it go? Well, each classroom, let's say of third graders, was sent into the computer lab and they were all going to use the library. Well, what they found was there was a bit of a hiccup and a barrier for logging in and getting through all of this process of to the library. So we recognized an opportunity to create a page where any child, age kindergarten up through 12, would immediately have access to the resources that were most relevant and most important to them. Using the format, the student ID format, the PIN number, that wasn't going to change. It would remain constant for them. A teacher would be able to empower a student with the information they needed because they had the format. A student doesn't have to remember extra numbers, other things that, all those different passwords and kind of pass-throughs of things, but rather a space where they could immediately be successful. So that for us was the light bulb that said, we need to do something to make this work really, really well and most simply. A library card is to us a most essential school supply. So every child should be able to have a library card free and easily. So it doesn't have to require a parent or a caregiver driving them to the library and applying for a library card. We knew that we wanted them to have the information and the access immediately. So this is created for them. They immediately know how to use it. Their teachers can help them, their families can help them. And so that to us was really important to kind of jump over those barriers of someone having to go and bring me to the library. And of course, it's electronic for these initial kind of entrees into the information through the student portal. Back in March, we'd had some success with obviously telling students about this process. They're using the portal, they're using the different resources. Well, once we went to online learning, it wasn't just a nice to have, but it was critical. So whereas we were having anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 resources used monthly, we jumped to about 12,000 uses in May. So we knew that this kind of information was absolutely critical during this online learning environment, and we've continued to see that grow. So we are in process, literally, of version 2.0 for the student portal, which we're very excited about because, again, as we have used the program, had input from our communities, have talked to our teachers and our school librarians and our families. What do you need the most? Looking at our statistics, what has received the most hits on the portal? What do we know kids need? So we're able to fine-tune those resources, make sure we have the most relevant ones there. And again, easy. They know how to log into it, they know where to go. We're having more videos on how to use it. We're making sure that we're shouting out about the individual things within databases that the kids know to go to for their state reports, for those important pieces that they need online, especially as they're learning from home. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to fine-tune that and make it even more relevant for our students and families. We absolutely will continue to make sure that every student in our library district has free library access. And whether that be private or public school, we're really happy with all of the public school partnerships, and we'll continue to expand those with all of our private schools as well.